Hello everybody, Karim here, ready to solve another challenge with you. Today we'll be solving another box called Thales from Vulnhub, which is rated as easy by the author. The box was a straightforward box where we were exploiting a Tomcat Apache web application, although there was a lot of rabbit holes. The good thing about this box is that you will learn on how to use Metasploit framework to exploit the target. Without wasting time, let's jump right in. So, our first step will be to get our target IP address, which can be done by typing netdiscover onto the terminal, -r, and then you enter your Kali Linux IP address, which for our case is .46/24 to scan the whole network. Once you get in our target IP address, which is .7, the next step will be to perform an nmap scan, which can be done by typing nmap on your terminal, -sv for enumerator versions, -sc for default script, -b- to scan all ports, and then you enter your target IP address, which is 192.168.192.7 for our case, and then you output all results on nmap.txt file. I've already taken time to run this, and as you can see here, our result says that port 22 is open and port 8080 is open. Whenever I see an HTTP service is running, I usually like to run the following command using nmap. So I will specify the specific port. So for our case will be port 8080, and then use a script called http enum, which is going to enumerate the HTTP service further. So I've also taken time to run this, and this is what we managed to obtain from that result. So we can see that there's a directory called examples, another one called manager/html/upload, and then the other one is /manager/html, which is usually for the login page in Tomcat Apache. And as you can see here, the HTTP web application is Apache Tomcat, and the version is specified there. So let us browse onto our browser and access the target web application by typing 192.168.192.7, and then we specify the port, which is 8080. As you can see, definitely what nmap had reported is correct. So let's browse at the /manager/html directory, and as you can see here, it's a login page which is asking us for the username and password, which at the current moment we don't have. So let's just cancel that, and then the next step will be to get to MSF console or Metasploit. It's a framework that is pre-installed in Kali Linux, so you can access it as long as you have Kali Linux running. So let's wait for it to load, and then you can proceed from there. So Metasploit has already loaded. So let me just clear my screen. The next step will be to search for Tomcat, and once that is done, it's going to bring us all the auxiliaries that we can use, all the exploits, and many other more information. So as you can see here on number 26, this is the auxiliary that we want to use because it's going to scan the web application for default credentials, etc., and it's going to use its own word list that is pre-loaded into this framework. So let's just use number 26, and then let's see what parameters it needs. Let me just expand that so you can all get to see. Okay, so the information that it needs at the moment is the remote host, which is our target IP address. So we are going to set the R host host to 192.168.192.7. Set that. it doesn't need username, password. Our port is correct. I think we are set with this. Our host. Let's try to exploit. Okay, so as you can see here, we've already gotten the username Tomcat and the password as roll1. So let's test that here on the web application. Manager /html, username was Tomcat and password was roll1. Sign in. As you can see, we have already been logged into the web application. So let's interrupt that, clear our screen, and then we type in pack. So the next step will be to look for an exploit rather, which is going to help us exploit the web application, and that can be done by typing search Tomcat once again. And we can see on number 7, that's the exploit that we are looking for here, that it's excellent. It's an Apache Tomcat Manager authenticated upload code execution. That's what we are looking for. So the next step will be to type in use number 7, and then you press enter, and then we see what parameters that it needs, and then we can set the HTTP username, which is Tomcat, and then we set the HTTP password to be roll1, and then set our port, because the default port that they're using here is port 80, and the one that we're using is port 8080, so we have to set that too. Press enter, and then we need to set our host, which is remote host, which is our target IP address, which is 192.168.192.7. Let's set that, and then we have to type in exploit in order to get into the machine. So we've already gotten access, interpreter access into our target IP address. So this is a non-interactive shell. So let's type in ls and see what information it has. There's a lot of information, but here is a directory of interest, home. So let's change directory to home. Let me just type in home and then type in ls, and then we can see that there is a user called Thales. So let's just change directory to Thales, press enter, and then let's see what directory Thales has. So as you can see here, we can see our user.txt user.txt file. There's a not.txt file, but remember this is a non-interactive shell, so we cannot do a lot of things here, but we can see a very interesting directory called .ssh. So let's just change to .ssh, and then let's download the IDRSA file, download ID_RSA, and then you specify where we want it to be downloaded to. Desktop Vulnhub /Thales directory. But before doing that, let me just create another directory called video for the sake of this demonstration, and then we get here to Thales /video. So that's where everything is going to be downloaded to. So let's just change directory to video, and let's leave it from there. So once that's done, we're going to press enter. Everything is already downloaded in that directory. So let's do ls, and then the next step is going to use a tool called SSH to John. So we're gonna need to convert the IDRSA file to get the hash, and then use that to crack for the password. So let's locate SSH to John, and then get the file, paste that, and then name of the key ID_RSA into SSH. Let me just say SSH hashes. Yeah, let's just call it that way, and then that's going to be done. And then the next thing will be to use John word list, which is equals to let's use the user share word list rocky.txt, and then let's crack the SSH hashes, and then let's run that. So I had already run this previously, so let me just cut to John. That's why it wasn't showing the password cracking process, because it's already pre-saved, and the password that it had managed to get, it's vodka 06 vodka 06. So that's the password. So the next thing will be to try and get an interactive shell, because as you said here where we are with Metasploit is a non-interactive shell. So we need to get the interactive shell and then proceed from there. So in order to get an interactive shell, we're going to have to type in shell on the Metasploit, and then we have going to paste in the interactive shell, and we're going to get an interactive shell. But here we are logged in as Tomcat but not Thales. So if we do an ls, we can see the directory that we are in. It is the .ssh directory. So let's just move back and do ls. What we can do next is to change user and become Thales, so that we can be able to read the notes and user.txt file. So that's going to be done by typing su Thales to switch to Thales, and then remember the password that we had cracked, which was vodka 06. So that's where it's going to be used here. And then once we tap in ls is when we can read the user.txt file, as you can see. And then what you're going to need is to read the notes.txt in order to proceed from here. So as you can see, there was a note that was left behind, which is said I prepare backup script for you. The script is in that directory, as you can see. Let me just try to increase the font for you guys. Yeah, that's the directory that the backup is in, and then it says good luck. So what you're gonna need or what you're gonna have to do here is to perform privilege escalation, where you're gonna have to look for the backup file. Once you've gotten it, you're gonna see that the backup file is writable. Now you're gonna have to insert a script into the backup file, and then once you run it, and then you're gonna be privileged escalated automatically, since the file is running automatically in the background, so that you can be able to get access as root, and then you get the final flag. I'm gonna end here, and you guys just have to proceed from here, because as I said initially, that for me, I'm just here to improve on my attack methodologies and learn and grow my skills in general. So thank you very much for being with me on this walkthrough. See you on the next one. Cheers.